people, welcome back to the Baby Fathers podcast, or a brand new episode. I'm your co-host today. I go by the name of DJ Ridler from Live Links, and yeah, I was going to say big up to everyone who's been supporting the channel. Please make sure you like, subscribe and share and press that notification button so any episode that comes out, you're going to be the first to know, alright? Okay, so on today's episode, I have another special guest, and he goes by the name of Dexter. How you doing, Dexter?
Good evening, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Yes, all of them.
Yeah, two of us have been watching
yes.
At whatever time, all right? So I want to say thank you for coming on today's show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, bro. I know I did see a clip of one of the videos you posted on your own page.
Yeah.
Obviously regarding to a situation that you've been obviously having problems, obviously with your child, but we are going to get into today.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to ask you first is, how old is your
my daughter? She's now 16.
She's now 16.
Yeah.
And how long has your situation been going on for?
Court-wise, it went on for 5 years, but it started from when she was basically 6 years old.
Okay.
So her 6th birthday was the last birthday her mother allowed me to spend with her.
Alright, cool.
From that point on, it was all the alienation, estrangement and everything.
Alright, cool. So we're going to get into that then, right? So what I'm going to do is just obviously take a deep breath and that. So we're going to start from kind of at the beginning of your story before the madness happened. So kind of tell us, from what kind of age did you meet the mother of your child?
So got with her mum when I was 17, she was 16. Both went to the same sixth form college. Had a mutual friend circle, so I actually met her through one of my closest friends. Yeah. So yeah, at college basically. Yeah,
and then from when you met her at college, young love, I take it.
But it's first love, first girlfriend. Yeah. I love her. All of that. Yeah, basically that first, not first, you know, girl I slept with, but yeah, first girl I had feelings of love for. So yeah, but in that, I already knew she already had issues from previous relationships. Okay. So when I got with her, she already kind of was drama. So looking back, yeah, you know, it's hindsight thing that everyone else kind of sees them signs, but all you care about is, I love her. So yeah. So
you think when you're young, you don't see the signs? It's more.
I feel like them things come with experience, and perspective, which experience gives you. So when everything's new to you and it's raw, you're led by your emotions. You don't tend to be hesitant. You seem to be all in because you're just going with how you feel. So when you're young and you feel like you love someone, that's what drives you, for better or for worse. So,
so from that onwards, obviously you're in love with her. How long was you with her?
So, like I said, I was 17, she was 16, was with her for 3 years. So she had my daughter when she was 19, I was 20.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then when did the madness start?
There was things that had occurred. So I was with her for 6 years, from when I was 17 to when I was 23, getting on 24. Had my daughter. So we were together for 3 years. Then we had my daughter for another 3 years before the relationship ended. But in all that time, it was clear she was an insecure person, to the point where anyone I made plans with away from her was considered for her, I'm choosing them over. So even like family, like if I was going to see my cousin and she's, oh no, stay in, I'm like, I'm going to see my cousin, I'm going to chill, play pro, but I'm coming back. She had her own 2-bedroom flat from when she was like 17. Okay. So I was living as an independent man from, like I said, from 17, 18, 2-bedroom flat. So ours was a place, friends came over, drink ups, all of that, because like I said, we had a 3-year relationship prior to being parents. Yeah. Once we had my daughter, then it was, priority is providing, as it should be if you're a responsible parent. And so yeah, she was on a pill, and that's that cliche in it. She said she was on a pill, but she said she was on a pill. She was for most of our relationship, and I trusted her with that. But it got to a point where I think things were breaking down, things weren't as good
in a relationship.
Yeah, and I feel like her response that was, oh, if I have a baby, that's gonna,
put it back together, close.
And it wasn't even issues with us in our relationship. I was going through depression at the time. Okay. I had like loads of things happen. Like she had a crazy ex, got into a mad fight with him, got out of a hand, he almost died, and I got charged for attempted murder, even though it wasn't nowhere near that. But at the time,
so hold on, what happened? Why you was obviously there was allegations of you getting?
Because basically this ex of hers, she basically left him and got with me, but we're like 16, 17. So to me, that's not a big thing. Like he was just literally stalking her. Like he was mad. And one time he told me to my face, it's not you. I'm gonna ruin the life of anyone she gets with. But you gotta understand, this boy was 16 at the time. Them things to me, you're not taking that too serious.
Yeah, of course.
Because who's that crazy at 16? But this brother was moving like mad.
Yeah.
So fast forward to the night, he's phoned me from her phone. Yeah, she's not with you no more. She's with me. Go on, tell him. Imagine knowing that he was abusive. So he used to beat her up, punch her up when they were together. He's been stalking her for months now, and now he's calling me from her phone, telling me like, yeah, she ain't with you no more, and he's forcing her to say to me, yeah, I'm not with you no more. Okay. So hung up the phone. So I'm shook for her. Now, in hindsight, you can say, oh, he should have just phoned the police, but as young black men,
where we from? Yeah,
we don't. That's not an instinct. That's not something you even
it's not
consider.
the first thing we.
Yeah, it's just not. And then especially in that heat of the moment. So I'm at like my at the time my goddaughter's like dad's house. So I'm with him. I phoned my other friend, and I'm 17. No one's driving of my initial like. I've got olders that are driving, so I phoned one of my older female friends, and like it's her sister who I met my daughter's mum through. So I'm like, yeah, we need to get down there as fast as we can. Like I need to go to Beckton. So she's come in her car, her sister who's my friend, and then my two boys. So there's 5 of us have gone down there now. And I literally, after college, a little sweet boy thing back then, that little box high top. I'd come from the barbers, gone Dixie Chicken, sitting there. I've hit my head in the roof of the car now, and it's like left all my hair's got caught in the fabric of the car. And I'll tell you why that's an important detail. So I've gone down there. I'm looking for her in like her little little area. And lo and behold, I find him and her like there on the street. So my boy has gone up ahead because he don't know my people like that, and gone to approach him, and my boy is just like licked him straight away. This guy has just ran off, and in the moment I should have just gone to her, but because this guy had been stalking her for months, coming down my college, trying to fight me, all kinds of madness, it was just that whole anger just got to the surface. I chased him.
Do you also think because he phoned your phone, chatting smack?
Yeah. So telling me she's not with you no more.
Yeah.
Like, and then he's like, and I know he's aggressive towards her, so he's like, yeah, tell him you're not with him. So in that moment, we ran after him because he's run away. Yeah. He's had the audacity to run to her parents' house, and her parents never liked him. They never got on. So you think, how are you gonna run to the parents' house of the girl you just beat up? He literally had assaulted her that night, beat her up, actually threatened to rape her. We found out afterwards. Bro. So he's now just standing calmly outside her parents' house. I'm like, what? So we've just gone and started attacking him, and I think because of the commotion, her mum's opened the front door. This brother's ran into the house. So the mum's kind of backed into the kitchen, and I can hear screaming. So I've tried to open the kitchen door, and he's come out with what I thought was a knife. Like literally come lunging at me, like trying to stab me. It turned out it's them, them big household scissors, like orange handled. Yeah. He's just, and I was like, he slashed my arm. And they had CCTV outside their house. So literally you can see this on CCTV going like that, where he slashed my arm. But my friend was already in the other side of the hallway. So now he's now going after my friend. So I've run back in the house, and my friend's trying to ward him off of some big lampstand thing. Cut a long story short, as far as I'm concerned, he's trying to stab us. You're fighting for your life. Now I'm very old fashioned. If a man's down, allow him. Stop. Don't be kicking a man when he's down, stamping his head. But in that moment, adrenaline, madness, he's trying to stab us. Mash him up till he can't do nothing. So we're stamping this guy out, like busting, punching him up. He's on the floor. And he starts screaming, he's bleeding, but carried on kicking him. Suddenly you see a whole pool of blood just literally coming out from... And then when you stop and you start looking around, you realise there's blood has already sprayed all up. It looked like a murder scene, basically. I've got blood all over my jacket and that. Like, I've got people screaming, like, you don't need to go, you don't need to leave, whatever. But they all know that he was the one antagonising the situation because of the history he had with, like, stalking their daughter. So me and my boys, we've gone off now, and my female friend, and I says they actually stayed there with my girlfriend. So they stayed with her whilst we had gone after him. So me and my two boys, we've gone back on, like, DLR, whatever, gone back to Stratford, then back to where our bits. And it's just like, you're talking about, that was mad, that was, but I still didn't think, I don't know, it might sound crazy, but I don't know if it's a dream, but I wasn't thinking it was what it was going to be. I've gone home. I've put all my clothes in the washing machine. I had my hair cut that evening. So I used to put a bang down on my head if I couldn't be able to wash my hair.
So what impact did that have in your life?
That triggered my depression. That literally changed my soul, my perspective. Like, I was naive. Like, if you're a good person, good things happen to you. Always help people. Always da-da-da-da. Like, and suddenly it's like, no, you didn't actually do anything wrong. For where I'm from, someone does that to your gal, they deserve a beatdown, and that's what it was. But because he's made this elaborate story now on the way to hospital that he was kidnapped outside East Ham train station at 6 p.m. in the evening in a black T-Reg Puma, we had guns and knives. So for the judge, he's just, you know, that was a time when knife crime was real. Yeah. So he's just seen it as an example. Don't want you in East London. Like, you're a danger. I'm like, I haven't done none of this. Don't want you. Please, I've got exams. I'll go on curfew. I'll go and tag. No. And in my mind, I'm like, how am I ending up a statistic even though I'm not that kind of guy? Yeah. So, yeah, for me, that I know for a fact that's where my depression started. All right. So, like, a bus case at the end of the day, I had 3 charges, had to sit there on the stand, hear not guilty 3 times. That's a scary experience, to wait to hear not guilty 3 times. From that point on, I'm like, I got to work. Don't care about studying. I've got a child, I need to work. And from that point on, it was just where I went from working in like Covent Garden, like Offspring trainer shop, to working for Next, to then I got my job in London Underground like 2007. Yeah. So for me, all right, now I've got a career path. Now I'm earning decent money. Now I can provide long-term stability for my child and her mum. But by then, I was a changed person. I had depression. I remember my daughter's mum. Everyone's about toxic masculinity and how men need to be more open with their emotions and communicate more. I had her telling me, when are you going to hurry up and get over your depression? But you're looking at this person like, 1, you're meant to love me. 2, I've gone through all this because of you and your crazy like previous relationship. Now I'm trying to have a build a family life for us, and you're like almost mocking me for going through depression. So. That was kind of like, yeah, this ain't the person because you don't know what someone's going to be like as a mum or as a dad. So when you start seeing, to me, you are meant to be a team in a relationship, let alone as parents. You are meant to support each other. You're meant to have each other's back. You're meant to pick up the slack when the other person can't do what they should be doing. I'm trying to do it all, and this girl's mocking me. This girl's got male friends coming around what is our family home and them things there. So as the time went on.
So hold on, these male friends who are coming around, are they her brethrens?
Yeah, because we all went to the same school. So I went to a boys' school, she went to a girls' school. You know, they're always like the counterparts to each other. And then our 6th form was joint. So what the guys that were her male friends were all guys that I went to school with, but they were like, she was a year below me, so they were all from the year below me, but I've always known them. So I know who's your actual friends and who are them guys that obviously liked you. So yeah, she's doing them kind of disrespectful things, like bringing man that I know you're referring to them as friends, but we know they're not really your friends. So all that's going on, obviously you start losing respect for a person. Yeah, because basically they're just waiting to just
they just kind of
I won't like hanging around with no one, but I knew enough that that's not a bona fide brethren. That's a guy that obviously likes you, but yeah. So I'm not a controlling person. So I'm like, someone's to cheat, they're gonna cheat. They're gonna find a way to cheat. So I won't never like, oh yeah, I was just like getting on with my thing. Not to sound sexist, but in our relationship, once with his parents, it was like I was a mum. Like she was still going out raving. Like she's going to like Stratford Rex on a Thursday night. I'm there just paying like whatever console, I think the original Xbox or something. Yeah, like, my daughter, her bedtime was always 8 o'clock from when she's a baby through to infancy. So for me, she goes to bed at 8. Now, when the mum's like, I'm not babysitting my you. You're not babysitting you. You're looking after you. When women are at home with their kids, they're not babysitting. So I don't know why some men refer to looking after their own. It's madness. Yeah, I'm not babysitting them. So that's the idiot thing. So my boy comes around, we're chilling, my daughter's sleeping. I always remember she come back from Stratford like Rex one night without any relevance. She just said, "Oh yeah, I never gave no one my number." You know, and it's like, why would you come out with them things? We've gone to bed now. Phone's popping off. When I look at the phone, like don't forget again, old school phones are that back then. There ain't no locks and fingerprints. I'm thinking, why is her phone going off at this time of the night? She's sleeping. Oh yeah, hi, it's Romeo. I'm glad I met you tonight. So I'm like, she's actually trying to go out and do dirt. So
I shouldn't laugh, lad.
No, you laugh because it's a joke. It's so ridiculous. Because don't talk about, why do all men this? I always say it's not all men, it's not all women. We're equally as capable of being good as we are being bad. Yeah, so don't tell me that men cheat. And if anything, women are better, more conniving, more manipulative with lies. They all draw their friend, their sister, their mum into
They're just good at it.
Yeah,
they're just good at it. They're good at it.
And that's what I'm saying. They'll do. But she was just doing sloppy things like, text message from the guy that she gave her. So in the morning, I'll tell her straight, like, yo, what's this? What's going on? Oh, yeah, I spilled his drink, so I felt bad. Yeah, you buy him another drink. Yeah. I said, do you know how much girl I've spilt my drink, bumped me?
So what happened, going a little bit forward? So from then, when did it go downhill?
But over the time, you saw the disrespect. And for me, I always say you can't make someone respect you, but you decide how many times you let them disrespect you. So when you're going out all the time, I see you're giving guys your number, you're inviting like a group of male friends, but that one guy in the group ain't your friend. It's almost like you're being sly in it. That's like when man said that's my cousin, but she ain't your cousin. You know what you're trying to do. So over, like I said, my daughter's born 2005. By 2007 now, it's getting a bit volatile now. This girl starts getting physical with me. Like, I don't know if you have profanity on there, but she's like, if you don't like fight back, you're gonna get beaten up by a girl like her. So I'm like, this is what you like. Imagine she's trying to provoke me into being like responding physically to her because she's slapping me up, and you're like this 6 foot guy like some little short girl. And then you start pushing her, and it got to the point where she was so violent towards me, I slapped her just on her face like that.
This was on. So she's been violent to you on many occasions.
Yeah, I went for about a year. This girl was basically physically abusing me. As a man, call it pride. You definitely don't call police on your gal. You don't even go running. You just put up with it. But obviously, when you're young, you're not looking at it like that's wrong. Like, get out of that. Because I loved her, but more importantly, I loved my daughter. And I was never trying to leave my daughter. I was never trying to... When you break up with her mum, you're leaving them to... Obviously, you're not abandoning your child, but it ain't the same. Once you leave that family home, it's just not the same. And she was already controlling in her house. Like, trying to argue, if I'm trying to go to bed, I got work, turn off the lights. She put in the lights, don't touch my lights, don't do that. So, my work commitments, I only have 1 week in a month to have with my daughter. That's not enough time. So now I'm like, I don't want to be in the underground no more. So now the job that should have allowed me to progress it with a career, I now don't want to be in no more because I can't even, it's stopping me from spending time with my daughter. 2 years that's happening. She's got with some next guy, don't care. But I'm like, I just want to be a dad. So like, I'm saying to her, like, having my daughter on the weekend, my daughter's like, when I came home from grandma's in the morning, Mummy wasn't at home. You know, kids just tell the truth. Mummy wasn't at home on her own. Mummy was at home with her friend Jay. So just straight away, I just know that ain't no friend. So when her mum's come to pick her up, I've gone to her. Who's Jay? She's like, what? I'm like, who is Jay? I don't know no Jay. I said, I'm laughing like, already done told me straight away. Why? I said, listen, don't say nothing to her. She ain't done nothing wrong. If you didn't want to talk in your business, you shouldn't have exposed her to it. How is it that you've left a brother at your house, gone to pick up our daughter from your mum's house, and brought her to her home to see a guy she's never seen there? Now, I haven't asked questions like that. I don't want to put my child. I don't know if he was laying in the bed. I don't know if he's in his boxes, but my daughter's seen a random dude in her home. So from then I know her mum's just moving foolish now. But again, I'm not bothered. I just said to her, like, don't like be doing things like that. Doesn't understand, didn't it? You didn't need to have him in the house if you weren't even there yourself. So she's seen this guy now for altogether 2 years. One messed up situation where she went Malaya, I went Malaya. We literally left the same 24 hours. He was in Malaya already. I find out he's just moving to every girl in Malaya. This guy had gone Malaya 4 years in a row. He's now been seeing my daughter's mum for 2 years, and he's gone Malaya back to back. I'm like, I know this guy's a player. This guy goes gym every day. I said, so when man said he goes gym, that means like you're not gonna phone him. And she's like, yeah, I'm just laughing. Like, and you know, I'm not trying to even be a hater. No,
what it is, you're not even trying to blow up the thing because you know already. You know what's going on.
And I'm like, how do you not know? So I'm like, don't forget, this guy's around my daughter. My daughter's now going around his yard, sleeping at his yard.
Wow.
Yeah, proper things like the computer, the PC.
Hold on. So you didn't think to pull him up? To say to him, yo,
like, where? I don't know him like that, but
but what I'm saying is, he's in your daughter's life. Alright, so he's in your daughter's life. So as a father, you already know. You know the game. You know how the thing is set already. How man can move. So you wouldn't think to yourself like, hold a minute. If this brother is trying to run game and he's also trying to be in my child's life.
I hear what you're saying, but my point is, I didn't care about my daughter's mum by that point. So
but it's not it's not even about caring about your daughter's
I know what you're saying.
Mum's life.
To me, that's a typical reaction of dudes when they get like, don't think you can But I'm like, no, because he wasn't doing anything that was being exposed to my daughter. He was just taking her mum for a joke. So more for her.
But hold on. It's not even to man. It's not even about the mum. Because if the mum's getting played, then that's her frigging business.
But that's my point. But he was doing, in front of my daughter. They were doing like family days out.
No, but bro,
on. You're saying, but bro, I'm telling you why I didn't care.
No, but hold on. It's like, I'm not even trying to say. Listen, I'm not even trying to get at you, yeah. But what I'm trying to say, man, obviously, man's just trying to look at the bigger picture.
I've told you, I know this guy's cheating on my daughter's mum.
Yeah.
But what are you saying I should do, or why didn't I?
What I'm trying to say to do, yeah. Like, this is just going out there to anyone, right? It doesn't mean because you don't have feelings with a mum that you shouldn't still look at, because you're talking about your child is involved. If a child's not involved in this whole situation,
but what I'm saying is, if there was something inappropriate in my daughter's presence, like that you're not meant to be doing, but I'm saying he wasn't doing nothing in front of my daughter's eyes.
You know, he's not. He
was just taking a mum for an idiot.
No. He's taking a mum for an idiot. But here's what I'm trying to say, my brother. Alright, he's in your daughter's life. So any man who's gonna come in your daughter's life, it's got to be a serious guy. Okay. You can't have hold on. You can't have a guy who's in your daughter's life playing family, but then is running a bag of girls. Because what's going to happen is...
I'm not even disagreeing with you. But remember I've told you at the beginning, what happened to me? I almost murdered a brother. Ruined my future. So listen, from that, I'm not getting into no passer with no man over no gal. Unless you're doing something... And I'm saying, unless you're doing something to my daughter, unless my daughter's coming to me crying, Daddy, I don't like him, this, that, he done this to mummy, that's when I'm getting involved. I'm 24, yeah? This guy's 30. Yeah, I can tell he's got this thing on lock, this cheating thing on lock. Because
is he a road man or just?
No, he's not even a road man. He's not even a road man. People used to say he's a fake me. He was me. I'm Marga man. He was me with muscles on him. You know what I say? Man that are facially challenged, they're they're short. Man that are vertically or facially challenged, they're the ones that go gym hard. You know what I'm saying?
He's gymming it 7 days a week.
Now we caught with the American like culture where gym's just a standard thing now. But we're talking about back then, like early 2000s, where it still want everyone at the gym. But this guy's at the gym, at the gym. And but you look at him and everyone's making the same remarks. Like, this guy looks like a funny dude. Look at his face. Like, I don't care about none of that. My daughter told me about him before her mum did. I said, act right. Come correct. Don't do things in front of her if you don't want me know him. But after that, my daughter never come and said nothing. But she went, oh yeah, we did this, and she's happy. So the point now, we've gone to Malaya. Now imagine me and my daughter's mum were on the phone like laughing about this. Like, this is mad. Like we're both out. Her flight's in the early hours. My flight's at like 7 AM. I then had another link going on a flight half an hour apart. The girl who then ended up being, so I've got a son. My son's 11 now. But the girl who ended up being my son's mum, she was a link at the time, and she was there as well. So this was EastEnders abroad. So you got Malaya. I'm in Malaya, yeah. He's already in Malaya. He goes every year. My son's mum at the time was just a link. She's in Malaya already. So her and his last day was our first day. And then they were leaving the next day, whatever. No, my son's mum was leaving that day I arrived, but he was there for one more day. Me and my daughter's mum are on the phone laughing in the early hours about, oh, this is mad, whatever. I only went Malaya because that was a hotspot that year, 2009.
It was that in Napa. It was Malaya and Napa.
And I wouldn't even look, I'd never been on a lad's holiday. One of my closest and oldest friends was like, listen, 6 of us have already got it booked. If you can find something to get a hotel with, jump on it. So I called my 2 cousins, they was like, yeah. Like I said, I worked in the underground, I had money. It's like, cool, yeah, I'm just going to do this. I don't care that she's going to be there. It's not my concern. We got to Malaya. Have you been Malaya before?
No, I've been Napa.
It's like a strip.
It's basically a
strip. All clubs, bars, hotels, at the end of the strip, you then got the beach and all that, So we're on the strip now, put all our bags on, got into our clothes. I see him go past on a ped. I'm talking to my again, she walked my son's mum then, but I'm talking to my son's mum at the time. And she's got her back to the strip. So this guy whizzes past and I started laughing. And I was like, oh, that was Jay. So she's gone, Jay? I'm like, yeah. She went, what? The guy that's with us? I'm like, yeah. So she's got, this is how the times are. She didn't get her phone out. She got a digital camera out. She put on her digital camera, is this him? I'm like, yeah. She's like, he was lip sync. Like, he told us he's 21. My man's 30.
But he's lying.
He's got Malaya 4 years in a row. 2 of those years whilst he's with my daughter's mum. And he's telling 18-year-old girls he's 21 and lips in them, obviously trying to do things with them. So straight away I'm like, I already knew it from England, but it's now confirmed. So remember I told you I saw him go by. 20 minutes later, he's going back past. Who's with him? My daughter's mum. Now I told you, we was busting jokes on the phone because 2009 now, we broke up a year ago. Things are alright now. And because I've shouted, everyone in that facility kind of looked. This girl looked. He slowed down. She saw me, went to him, go, 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 go. Wait a minute, you was just busting jokes on the phone last night. Now because you're with my man, he knows who I am.
But bro, this is how females behave.
Mad, but you know it's like, my boy looked at me and goes, she's waste. I'm like, it don't even make sense what she's just done.
Let me just tell this in general, right? I tell you this in general, right? You see, like when you could chat to your BMs, normally you say you just chat, you had your history and you're like friends almost. But when they partners around now, they move like they don't even know you.
They hate you. I can't stand him. Like,
because she's run your name so badly to my man. She calm and backtrack and show you.
It was just in that moment. It was like we've got a child together. Our daughter's like four these times. Like he's been in the yard eating dinner while I've gone to put my daughter to bed. So it was just stupid. It made no sense. So as the weeks gone by, Malaya, like imagine I'm chatting to some random girls, but just on a friendly one. I'm talkative. Like gone to a club that night, and I've seen him buy the 3 girls like drinks. So I've gone to like one of the black girls. There's 2 black girls and a white girl. I've gone to one of the black girls. Right, is that you? Yeah. Already knowing that he's meant to be my daughter's mum. Hear the girl. Nah. She's doing a thing with him. The white friend, dead. I don't care about what colour you are. Dead thing. She's doing a thing with him. Oh yeah, he already told us like he used to go out with your baby mums. I'm like, no. There ain't no used to. They're together right now. She was on the back of his penny picked up from the hotel. So she's come in and must have even caught him buying a girl drink. So they've had some argument outside. Everyone's coming, oh yeah, they're she's gone back to her hotel room. My girl didn't come out he was there for I think 1 or 2 more nights. She didn't come out for the rest of the time he was there. So she already aired me when she's with him. Don't come out for 1 or 2 nights whilst he's there. He then leaves. But before that, that night when he had an argument with her, he's seen me in the strip now. This man's been in my daughter's home. He's seen me. He's been at my daughter's 4th birthday. Like, normal. He's gone to me, you cool, yeah? So you know you can see what
the energy's different.
Yeah, like you're not a road man. You work in IT.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? He's like, you cool, yeah? So I'm like, am I? Well, I'm just confused. Like, what are you trying? But he's got his boys with him. Don't forget these men in their 30s. I'm 24. He's like, you cool, yeah? So I'm like, am I cool? Yeah, you cool. My boy with that, I'm like, what is it? So I'm just laughing. It must be drinking and that. I'm just laughing at this guy. Like, you're not this guy. But now you got your boys with you. I don't even thought I tried to bait him up, so he's tried to act.
Yeah, that's what it is. He thinks that you're trying to.
But he backed down. As soon as my boy moved to him, he backed down. So now you've just chumped yourself because you're a big 30-year-old man at the time. You shouldn't be moving like that as a 30-year-old man that's in the wrong. So that was that. Now Malaya's come and gone. I basically said to her, whatever you want to do with this guy, I do not want my daughter going round. So what, as you were saying, no, but that's what I said. Because now it's all out there in the open. I suspected. Remember, I say I know, but I can't say yeah. And I'm not trying to break her up. Oh yeah, look, he's doing this. I don't now it's on a level where it's just blatant disrespect.
When the mum stopped you from seeing your daughter out, we ain't got much time.
Yeah.
So when she stopped from seeing your daughter, what then happened after that? Like the process, what did you do?
She changed her phone number, changed her job, changed my daughter's school, and moved house.
All of that.
There was a period of 7 months I did not know where my daughter was. I was going nuts. So eventually, I found out what school she was going to. Okay. Went down to the school. Obviously, I don't know what madness the mums told them about me, but I'd already gone to court for my first like C100 application in it to start court proceedings.
Okay, so you put all the court papers in to go and stick it to your daughter.
So I've gone to court to initiate the proceedings, and fortunately I had a friend who is a solicitor, so she's advised me. She said you need to get that application, you need to do this. Okay. So I initially had a solicitor, my own solicitor. This is 2012. Beginning of that year, David Cameron was like, yeah, fathers need to remain an integral part of the family dynamic after separation. That same year, they cut legal aid funding for family court. So now my solicitor's telling me, oh yeah, it's going to take up to 10 weeks for your legal aid application, but I've got to warn you, it's probably going to get denied because the government is no longer funding it. So I'm like, you're telling me I've got to wait 2.5 months. I haven't seen my daughter for over 7 months. I've got to wait another 2.5 months. Basically, you're going to tell me it's going to be a year.
Until you saw her.
Not even to see her. It's going to be a year just to hear, no, we're not going to grant you legal aid funding. So I was like, forget that. I had to write the letter to say I no longer require your services. Went from my friend giving me direction. Started representing myself. done my C100 form, bang, bang. Within 3 months, had a court hearing. Obviously, we've gone to court, told the judge what's going on. He's then set a court date, obviously, for her mum to attend. Her mum's attended, and I was naive because I don't know about court. It's all new to me. But I'm like, I've got the truth on my side. I know what I've done and what I haven't done. This girl's opening statement said, Dexter's never been there for me. He's never supported me financially or emotionally. I don't know him. She's now denied our entire 6 years relationship, including the years before we broke up and especially the years after. She literally said, my daughter doesn't know me now. This is 2012. My daughter is now 7. So I haven't seen her since her 6th birthday. Yeah. Missed her 7th birthday, haven't seen her. So going to court, all that's going back and forth because her mum's just lying. She come with the, oh, he was violent, he's attacked me, I'm scared of him and I'm scared he might hurt. The moment her mum says that, no judge wants to be that one that didn't believe the story, granted the father access, and her father ended up killing the child. So that's how I feel, that's how they approach the situation. So the judge was like, yeah. And what's twisted, never said, when my daughter was born, we had a date booked for her registration. Me and her mum had an argument, and her reaction to the argument was she went and registered my daughter without me. Like, before. So I was not registered. Therefore, as you know, didn't have PR. A piece of paper tells you you can or can't be a father. It's a madness. So all because of that one thing from 7 years ago come to haunt me all them years later. Just because of that one piece of paper, I've now got to go through court to get granted PR. But I've got to prove I'm not a danger to my daughter because her mum said she fears I might harm my daughter. I got put on some 3-month course. They was insulting because it had nothing to do with my situation. It was like people that have behavioural issues with their children. I'm crying out of anger like, I'm not supposed to be here. Me and my daughter have a beautiful relationship. No disrespect to you lot can't control your children. I've never had behavioural issues with my daughter. It's like the judge just put me on any course that said parenting. So I've gone through that, proved that I can do all that rubbish. That it's basically taken like a year. So from 2012, it took to 2013 to get granted PR and access, hearing. But in all those, in the hearings for that whole year, she just told lie after lie. He's never supported me. My daughter don't know him, and I'm like, I've got videos. I've got bank statements. I forgot I paid for the girl's Sky installation, but she said we were never together. So like, imagine she denied our whole relationship.
But you know, it's funny though, because even you're saying things like that, we do get a lot of fathers who come on here, and there's always the one where he was violent to me. Obviously, there might be some cases some cases there's not. But I find that seems to be the famous line they will always want to throw out because they know the judge will rock with that.
I know man that have beat up their baby mum, gone to prison for it. When they've come out, they've still been given access to their children. Whereas and yet the judge was just moving different. So when people saw me representing myself, people was like, you need to go and help other fathers with this thing, because obviously I won in court. I won.
Okay, you won.
Because I got my parental responsibility and I got my contact order. Okay. So in that final hearing, her mum had the audacity that we was talking. So I wasn't trying to be at any animosity because I'm happy in it. Like, I'm not trying to like laugh in her face, but obviously I'm overjoyed now. So we're kind of talking about how she showed me photos of her. And then she's gone randomly, oh yeah, thanks to you, I don't want no more kids. Like, in my hand, like, who cares what you want? Like, then she's me, oh, just to let you know, I never said anything bad about you. Like, I meant to be, but she's saying she's never said anything bad about to my daughter. So I'm meant to be grateful that you didn't let me see my daughter for a year now. But in that year, you're basically saying you have not mentioned me to my daughter. That's not good. Oh, come to our first like handover. Now this girl, remember, she was scared of me. In the order, she's meant to have a third party bring my daughter to me
to do the exchange.
So that there's no contact with me and her mum. First meeting, who comes out with my daughter?
The mum.
Her mum. It's mad. And people don't understand. People think court's magic. People think court is like it's in law and you have to do what the court says. The court ain't overseeing nothing outside of that building. So when people go to court, I'm like, you as a man, you lose all power. You, as far as I'm concerned, I used to feel a physical thing because you're hoping and you're praying and you're asking for, let me be a dad. Some random dude, they don't care about you as an individual. It's a job to them, it's work to them. They have no emotional investment in your child's well-being and what's going to happen to her upbringing. So I'm just relieved that, as far as I'm concerned, on paper I've won. On paper I have my rights. No one's enforcing that. her mum turns up. I'm thinking, I'm not even going to get into this. Like, why you come for?
Yeah.
I'm just cool.
Doing a thing.
My daughter's acting all apprehensive because she hasn't seen me for a year. She's acting all shy. So I'm like, you're right. So she's like, oh, her mum's like, oh, I said her belly feels a bit funny. I said, oh, you know what that is? That's called butterflies. It's when you're anxious. It's when you're nervous. I said, you know what? I've got them too. She starts smiling. So I even said, you know what? Don't have to do this today, or if you want, we're meant to go to cinema. So if you want, mummy can come with you. So I was like, oh, don't be silly, go with your dad. Acting like the supportive co-parent.
Yeah.
Cool. We've gone Stratford, gone cinema. On the way to the cinema, she's going to be, you kept your promise, daddy. And I was just like, oh my gosh, because I sat her down when she was 6 years old, and I said to her, listen, because mummy's not letting me see you as much anymore, the only thing I can do is I'll go to court. And court's a place where you have a person, a man or woman called a judge, and mummy and daddy are probably going to argue. Mummy might be angry, but if I go and do it to the end, what it will mean is you will get to see me as much as you want to see me. And she said to me, promise me, daddy, you won't stop until you finish court.
Gang.
Imagine 2 years later, she said to me without any like provocation, like, you kept your promise, daddy. I was like, oh my God.
And hold on to that as well.
It's deep, it was deep. Remember I told you that her mum didn't talk about me.
Yeah.
Next minute, all this time, I didn't have her mum's number, you know? So I got my daughter a phone. Her mum won't let me have her number. She's with the next guy now.
So she's meet a new guy.
But she's been this guy for a while, because even when she was I last was seeing my daughter, what did she say to me this time? Mummy's friend put up mummy's bed. This is now the second time she's bringing dude around my daughter. But as I said, by this time I don't even know where they're living, because that was the 7 months I don't know yet. And then she had just stopped me seeing any contact. So she been with this guy now. I'm trying to talk to my daughter. Her phone's off. We got the agreed day to phone her. Her phone's off.
On Thursdays, yeah.
So when I'm texting her phone, I've phone is off. Can you let me know the agreed upon time for me to phone her? I get the boyfriend phoning my phone now. Yeah, listen, I'm with now. Bruv, I don't care about that. I don't care about. All I care about is my daughter. I have a right to speak to my daughter on this day. It's been agreed upon in court. What's going on? Her phone's off. She's gone to bed. I said, all right, cool, but you have to understand, I have my right, so this needs to be continued. From that point on, I don't see my daughter's mum no more. This guy's bringing my daughter to me. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm having to go through him. I'm having to talk to him about plans I'm making with my daughter.
So after you had that conversation with him on the phone and he started bringing your daughter to you, he was always cool with you after.
He was cool, but you know, just like.
But his girlfriend's back.
Yeah, basically, of course, he's not gonna have dramas and domestic for my sake. So 3 hours, it's not enough. Every 2 weeks, 6 hours a month. So like, listen, can I have overnight? She wants to see you overnight. Oh no, we've got plans. Why do you keep making plans when you know it's my weekend?
So who's got plans? The boyfriend or the girl?
He's telling me they, as a family, have plans. They live together. They've got plans.
But I don't understand why the brother's being difficult, because he should know. Obviously, I don't know if he's got kids or not. But as a man, he should talk to the missus and listen.
Now I don't know what version he's been told of our situation, but this was twisted. Remember the guy who went through court over? He used to be best friends with him. This is how twisted my daughter's mum is.
So them man are sharing.
Obviously, this was 8 years later, so they're not friends no more. But they were friends from school.
Boys,
yeah. And then 8 years later now, or whatever time he's seen her ask for a number, you're meant to be like, no, you was friends with that guy that used to abuse me, a friend to rape me instead. She's like, oh, obviously giving out somehow because now he's putting up beds in the yard. So I've known him from school. I'm bridging to his cousins.
Sheesh.
He's now dictating what I can and can't do with my daughter. And I know she's done this to antagonise me, to get me to be aggressive, to get me to switch. So I'm just being polite, playing a game. She won't answer nothing. So get to 5 hours every other weekend now. So now I get her from 1 till 6. Again, she wants to see brother, she wants to see brother. They keep saying no. The final weekend I had my daughter, the week before, I said to her, what about I get you from school on a Friday, you sleep over, that way, even though I still have to drop back at 6, I've had you overnight. So she was excited. I think there's more to that, to think my dad's going to pick me up from school. So, I'll ask mummy. They must have had her trained so well, she put me on mute. Don't know what conversation was held. Then she come off on mute. Oh, mummy says she's not sure what we're doing yet, so she'll let you know. I'm laughing. At least she didn't say no, daddy. I'm like, if your mum don't know what you're doing yet, she could have just said yes. So I feel like something's going to come up between now and then. Come off the phone. I text him, good evening. don't know if you was at the house when I was on the phone, but she wants to sleep over and I pick her up from school on Friday. Let me know. No response. Saturday comes, I text him like, yeah, what's going on? Oh yeah, we've got plans. So I phoned him, innit? Like, what's really going on? Oh, like, at the end of the day, we both work, so we don't get to spend a lot of time. I said, bruv, do you know how stupid that sounds? You're telling a man that didn't get to see his daughter for almost 2 years, who now only gets to have her for 5 hours every other weekend. You don't spend enough. How do you think I feel? Oh, you know what? This is pissing me off. I'm on my way to work. I'll call you. I said, don't bother call me back because you're not trying to help the situation. You're obviously on some idiot thing. Come off the phone. Following weekend, I get my daughter. I said to her, what did you lot do on a Friday then? Your plans. Hey, my daughter. We stayed in. They put on a film whilst I was on my iPad. What film? Source Code. Jake Gyllenhaal doing some madness in a time machine. Age inappropriate. She's at what 8, 9. This is a 50-year-old film. So when I've dropped my daughter back to him now, again he wouldn't let us have her longer. We went swimming. We meant to eat after that. Swimming's exhausted. Nah, bring her back. We're going out. Again, my sister went mad because the guys come in shoes, socks, hoodie, shorts with shoes. Like, not no trendy shorts, I mean like sports shorts. You know when you just dash on that to run across the road? Of course. So I'm just like, you're chatting rubbish, you ain't going to... Oh yeah. So it's furthermore, you're a liar. Now maybe I should have put my daughter in that position, but I'm just off emotion. I'm like, my daughter, she's already told me, you lot didn't go out nowhere. You lot were watching the film. He just put his attention on my daughter. What? We went bowling. In it. Now you're showing me, her father, that you're trying to intimidate and force my daughter to lie to her dad in front of me. If you can do that to a child in front of their dad, what must you do behind closed doors? Yep. Before I even reacted, my sister's gone mad. Don't talk to my niece like that. Now this is in front of my son, my daughter and my nephew. This argument's ensued now. This was at, we had a meeting spot, McDonald's Island's car park. My daughter's crying. So I've picked her up and I've gone to take her to McDonald's. He's like, don't walk off. Like, who are you talking to? My daughter's crying and my dad, I'm going to console her. I've taken her to McDonald's and set her down. I've always tried to teach my children, you can be upset, you can cry, but at some point you need to articulate your feelings, express what's upsetting you. So I'm obviously thinking, yeah, of course she's crying. Her stepdad and her dad's arguing. So I'm going, oh, wow, why are you upset? Hear her. I'm scared I'm going to get in trouble with mummy when I go home. But do you know how scary that was to hear my daughter? Because what's going on in that house while my daughter concludes that her dad and her stepdad are arguing, she's in trouble with her mum. But I know her mum used to kind of, you know, take things out on her. And I think all that time I'm trying to get about her mum's probably telling her that, yeah, because of your dad, me and this or that, whatever. So that's happened. It's horrible that I've had to let my daughter go home with this guy that spoke to my daughter like that in front of me. That was the last time I had my daughter. 24th of May, 2014.
So this guy was never back in your corner for you then? Of
course, no. But he tried to portray that I'm the one that brings her to you. I'm the one that's like letting you see your daughter. I'm like, bruv, you're not doing nothing because you ain't even acknowledged in court. In the eyes of law, you're nobody. You weren't allowed in the courtroom. I don't even know what you know. I said, I don't even know what you know, because funny enough, after court, she was trying to bust jokes with me and have a laugh at it with my family. But you have never come with her. Why have you never come with her to drop my daughter? Why has she never come with you? You've never even seen how she behaves towards me, because you and her don't come together.
So why do you think certain men move like that? Is it
insecure? He sees me. I don't know if he feels like she still loves me or he's just paranoid. But I told you, he phoned my phone and yeah, I'm with her now. I'm with her. I'm like, but no one cares. I don't care if you're with her. I left her. I don't care about her. I just want my daughter. But it's like he wasn't. My sister kept saying, I'm telling you, he's the one controlling her. I'm telling you, as bad as she's been, it's him that's telling her she can't have nothing to do with you. She can't come around. I said, I don't care. It doesn't matter who's to blame. Bottom line is, either way, I ain't getting to see my daughter. So that was the last. I didn't know at the time that was gonna be the last time I had my daughter. But after that, phone on Thursday. Oh, hi, Daddy. I wrote you a letter. Oh, okay. When am I gonna get a letter? I'll read it to you now. She read the letter to me on the phone. I didn't like the way you and Ryan were arguing last weekend. I felt like I was piggy in the middle, but I can't catch the ball. I think it's better for everybody. That's the keeper. She said, the girl's like, what, I think 9 or 10 now. She went, I think it's better for everybody else if I don't see you until I'm older. How the hell was a 10-year-old making that conclusion? Why is she saying that everybody else is me, the mum, and the boyfriend? She's saying as a 10-year-old, I think it's better for everybody else. She didn't say I don't want to see you. She said it's better for them, for everybody else, if I don't see you till I'm older. Let me talk to your mum. Remember I said her mum wouldn't talk to me. Suddenly her mum comes on the phone all like ready to talk. Oh yes. I've literally got the recording on my phone because things were so bad by then. I was recording my phone calls. So to this day, I've got the recording on my phone. She's like, yeah. So you're aware of this thing I wrote? Okay, yeah. And I said, What, you think that's as a responsible mother? She just, as soon as I said, you think as a responsible mother that's okay? She's gone mad again. Don't tell me, don't be condescending. I said, listen, something's happening with our daughter, and instead of trying to resolve it, you're making it worse. Suddenly he comes on the phone. What's going on? I'm like, what? Yeah, I've just come in the house and I'm hearing all this. I'm like, he's the boss. I'm getting mad at it. I'm like, just written this letter, tear. This is what she said. Oh well, mature for her age. I said, don't tell me my daughter's mature. I know my daughter's mature.
This story, see, like this. Listen,
like,
there's so much.
I've got a 5-part thing, bruv. Yeah. Listen, it's a mad. It's all mad.
Where are we at the moment with this story now? Anyway, because we need to finish because the time is up, and there's so much. You stopped seeing your daughter. Yeah. They stopped you.
That was 2014.
And then when did you then get to see her after that?
I've seen her simply because I've gone to meet her on her way to school. And then I've taken a job.
So you still have problems?
I have no contact with her. I have no contact whatsoever.
Still from today?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing now. I have nothing with her. I've made attempts. I've seen her with my eyes. The last time I saw her, she aired me on road. So her mum was successful. Cut a long story short, her mum has been successful in alienating my daughter from me. She was old enough to be on road on her own. She's 16 now. She was East Only 14 years old. She saw me. I took my job because my job was 10 minutes from where she lives. I planted myself in her vicinity. My daughter saw me. No one's there, just her on her own, walking home. I called out to her. She looked at me. Carried on walking. My lip was trembling, but I was broken because what that showed me is what her mum tried to do worked. It worked. That despite she knows the truth, my daughter knows the truth. She's now doing what her mum wanted her to do, which is if you ever see her dad, don't say nothing to him. I didn't believe that would happen. And all I've done, I would have never believed that would happen. But it makes me. What did her mum do to her? What did her mum say to her? Was it emotional abuse? Was it physical abuse? Was it all like because you can't turn a child against their dad. Who's done nothing? Yeah, without when he goes, you have to. You know how much you have to mess up as a man, as a father, to make your child stop loving you.
Yeah.
I don't care about my dad. Of course, they love their dad because if you're there, and I've always been there, so it makes me think: what did they do to my daughter? How did they do that?
Is she still with that same brother? You know?
Yes, they're married now. They've got a son, 6-year-old, I think, whatever. Yeah,
so
his own cousin that I went to school with got involved. Tried to talk to him, man to man. Tried to tell him, "Come on, man." They ain't arguing. He had to stop because I had an argument with my cousin, like trying to not stick up for you, but basically trying to speak up for you. But I told him it was never going to work because your cousin's not the problem. He's just another obstacle her mum's put in play. Yeah. But I said he can't make those decisions. That's her mum. So he was never the issue. He was just another piece of it. But I said I knew he would, but he really thought he could come with a clear set of eyes and help remedy the situation. But I knew it was in vain. And he understands that now because he's like, I can't get through to him. I just he's telling me, but he told me this about you. I'm like, okay, look at this letter. Look at this video. I've got letters where my daughter's mum saying, I know I never say enough, but you're a fantastic father and you and Tamara got an amazing bond. I'm like, but I broke up in 2008. I've got videos of us on a London night together in 2011. Hear what he said, his cousin said. Oh, well, he said that she paid for your ticket. Does that make sense? The same girl that said I was never there, that scared of me, paid for my ticket to be stuck on a London eye capsule for half an hour with me. But he thinks saying that is an insult to me, that she paid for my ticket on our daughter's birthday. I'm laughing like, bruv, come on, that's embarrassing. So yeah, it is what it is, man.
It's one of them mad ones.
It is what it is.
Listen, bro, I do hope you can build that relationship with your daughter.
If it happens, it happens. But I've had to get on. I've got a son. My son's just started secondary school. I don't even know if my daughter's going college, whatnot. But I've had to get that discipline of moving on.
Listen, it has been a long one and a mad one. Right, I want to hear your lot's views on this whole topic today. Let's have a conversation for what Derek has been experiencing. All right, I want you lot to write your comments and views below. All right. Make sure you subscribe, like and share. I want to say thank you for watching. Till the next time on the Baby Fathers, we out.